She went on with her weekend, cooking, washing, and even gardening. It had been some time since she tended to the garden, but by Sunday afternoon her quietness mellowed things a bit, and somehow she found the strength. She pulled back the cobwebbed wire gates and entered its thorny shade. But the bittersweet memories were so much more bitter than they were sweet. When Joshua was here, she reminisced, he would prance around in the little red boots they had bought for him. He wanted to do everything, and the simplest things were a wonder. He watered plants, pulled up thorns, dug up worms, and filled routine gardening with so much laughter that just remembering hurt. It hurt so bad. It hurt deep down, in places no one could reach. And her wounds were the worst kind, for she kept them safe and warm inside that secret hiding place, so she wouldn't have to share, because sharing might mean healing, and she didn't want to heal. God forbid she let it go. Then what would she have left? Pain was her only friend. And no amount of passing years made it easier or more bearable. Who said time heals all wounds? That person must never have been wounded. When people see your joy, it's a proud moment, exhilarating even. When people see your pain, it doesn't mean a thing. It doesn't add, it doesn't take away, and their puny harangue doesn't quite cut as they had hoped, no matter how hard they try. Yes, it cuts a little, but it pales in comparison to the self-inflicted wounds that you and only you have brought upon yourself. And then you only have two choices: pretend or lay down and die. And she was slowly dying while living out this thing called life. But sometimes, oh sometimes she found that place where, for a fleeting moment, hell eased just a little and a piece of heaven barely peeped out from above. Just enough to catch that glorious light. Joshua was that light. For years he came in dreams, sometimes at a young age, the age when he had left them, but sometimes much older. He was still happy and playful, and he asked for Titi, an idiosyncrasy he possessed, where he would say certain words twice, especially when she looked tense and he wanted to make her smile. Those were fun-filled days in the house. Money was never in abundance, but Joshua could make you forget that if the lights weren't paid for soon, darkness loomed nearby. And it was good for Peter too. Yes, it's true he always drank, but it was never out of hand, crazy and unruly the way it was now. She wanted to go out to work back then, to help out. But he didn't want Joshua with strangers. And her parents were too old and feeble, though willing. They really couldn't help. Then, when Joshua was no longer with them, he still didn't want her to go out and work, but for different reasons. Maybe these were fears he had all along, and when Joshua faded away, so did his mind.